Doctor, we have to face facts. You've come back to life, and this time, you're a woman.
Hello, and welcome to a very special collaboration between myself, Jack Wolf,
and me, the Oncoming Brainstorm. We are talking about the new Doctor Who episode.
So, Oncoming Brainstorm, a small YouTube channel doing reviews and so forth, things on like Doctor Who. You've done one on BoJack Horseman recently.
Yeah, I do whatever shows I like, but mainly it's been Doctor Who in the past, and that's what I try to keep it to.
You know, he's small scale, so go show him some love if you can. So, obviously, it was over a year ago now that this was revealed. Jodie Whittaker was revealed in the role. I made a video on it at the time. It had a general positive reception. You had people respectfully agreeing or disagreeing with me, and then you had like the minorities on either side shouting argument about no, you're sexist.
It did divide the fan base quite a bit.
Absolutely. But you know, if it's good, I'll be glad. And so I guess we're gonna find out. So, Lewis, what did you think of The Predator?
That pretty much was the villain. But yeah, what were your thoughts of the episode?
So, the start, I was happy with. I was like, this is starting off cool. The mystery, it's building. There's some kind of like, okay, what is this thing? Okay, now shit, this thing's on a train. Oh, that's a little bit creepy. Kind of what's going on here? Yeah. It starts good.
Yes.
It's safe to say that I kind of lost the tension.
Yeah, it kind of dragged on, and it was a bit like all over the place. Like, we're jumping here, we're jumping there. It's like the Doctor and the companions are like kind of helping her out, trying to find. It felt a bit odd. It was like the threat had gone. I felt like it looked cool, but it didn't do anything.
Yeah, with a classic series episode, you'd have probably a lot more time devoted to the monster going around doing stuff before they then encounter it.
Yeah,
he gets two guys.
That's it.
And I mean they even see it before he gets the other guy, don't they?
Yeah, I don't really feel like it was very threatening, and that was a big problem. I was actually getting a bit bored. And that's rare for Doctor Who. I'm usually like there and I'm really enjoying it.
The design of the armour of Tim Shaw, as is called. Yeah, it looked cool until the mask. I don't like the design of because it was a humanoid, very human face.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like you can only get away with a blue person so many times, even if he did have teeth.
It's pretty obvious, ain't it, that it's, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
a dude in
even the
prosthetics.
Sycorax design was kind of cooler, like because that both had their masks and you take it off, and even that it still looks alright.
And you think about that was Christmas 2005.
Yeah,
that's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred a more kind of alien-looking face.
Or just kept the mask on because it looked like
that too. That was cool.
An insectoid kind of ice warrior.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool.
So there's a plot element with the whole DNA bombs.
Yeah.
They get these DNA bombs planted inside them, which, when detonated, will just basically scramble them. I forgot about those.
I did.
I was like, that's a really good amount. If they had, you know what would have been so fun? If they had a countdown. You know, Jodie Whittaker checks the pod thing as like, thinking into a DNA detonation. That would create more tension, that would make it scarier and stuff. Instead, I forgot about them, and our main tension came from the dude climbing up the tower to kill this one person.
Yeah, you could have had it a bit like the Foretold, like the Mummy in the Capaldi era, or when like Clara had that tattoo thing on the back of her neck. Like, it was counting down, that like adds more tension, something like that. Would have been a lot more, just better. And that character, Carl, what the hell?
Yeah, so I'm assuming he's just this guy who you see on the train, kinda, I'm guessing he's got probably some kind of depression, or struggling in some way,
anxiety or confidence issues. But who are you?
And then they find out he's going to be killed, and that's like, but you don't know anything about him. Yeah, so you're not even that like worried for him. You're just kind of like, oh, it'd suck if he died.
So let's bring it to the centre. What did you think of Jodie?
Oh man, I knew we were going to get to Jodie.
Let's get the elephant out of the room. Let's address this.
Jodie felt to me like it's like Matt Smith met David Tennant is how I'd describe her. They had the kind of like, basically, the thing of David Tennant with the kind of like I'm all over the place thing of Matt Smith.
Yeah.
This is the worst thing I can nitpick her for, because it's not something, I mean, it's something she could technically control, but it's like unfair. I don't like her accent.
Aye!
Her accent, and I know that's like, probably people are like, why the fuck? It makes it feel like a soap.
Smart boy, biology.
It does, yeah, because the other characters obviously got like kind of Yorkshire, Sheffield accents, except for Bradley Walsh. And it makes it feel more human, which is bad. Like, I feel like the Doctor's been more of an eccentric, and like, I'm not saying Yorkshire accent can't do that, but because the other characters have got that as well, it makes it seem less special to me.
Yeah, and a lot of the delivery kind of You know, when you've got, because most of the doctors have either been, well, they've all been Scottish or kind of
English,
yeah, posh. And then she comes out like, "Oh, that's brilliant! That, oh, I think I'll keep that in mind. I will." That I went Scottish at the end, but it's that kind of like the, "Hey, I tell you what," and it feels so kind of
with Eccleston's accent, like
true.
He had a northern accent, but I didn't feel like it, except when they outrightly said, you know, loads of planets have a north, you know. Yeah. It didn't seem to get in the way as much.
True, that's weird. I think maybe it's the Sheffield accent specifically.
Yes, quite strong. With Jodie.
Yeah. I mean, that is where she hails from.
I felt her performance was a bit wonky. Like there was some bits where I was like, okay. Yeah. I see flashes of the Doctor there. I'm like, that's cool. I'm liking this. Then other times there were like really cringy moments.
Yes.
Especially one bit where she's sticking a finger up her nose. I couldn't understand what she was saying. And she's like going on some techno babble, like, "Oh, I'm going to collapse in like 3 minutes." And I didn't get it. I was like, what's going on? So there were quite a few moments like that.
Yeah. So like,
so she's a bit all over the place in this episode.
I definitely found that. I like there were times where I kind of go, but I feel it's that kind of that. Let's be Tennant and Matt Smith. Really upbeat, really off the wall, kind of a bit zany, quite energetic, and it wasn't endearing to me.
It's a bit annoying at times. A bit OTT. I'm not saying this to put down Jodie because I want her to be great.
Yes.
And like I said, there were moments where I was like, yeah, when she actually like calms down and has moments of sincerity, she felt quite like an authority figure then. And I thought that was quite cool. She had more moments like that where she's a bit more subdued and more in control, because obviously she's got like the post-regenerative stress. She's a bit all over the place. I get it, but they kind of overdo it for me.
My kind of preferred Doctor type. I like the Doctor to have his kind of comedic or zany moments or slight times of kind of fumbling. I like my Doctor to have the kind of the that feeling that they know they're kind of in control of it. Like they kind of they've got everything in their mind and they're kind of working behind the scenes and they're very calculating and kind of they don't have to talk. They're figuring it out. Kind of like a
You say the Ninth Doctor's like that, like Sylvester McCoy.
Yeah, the Ninth Doctor's kind of like they're aware that they are above.
They're smart.
Yeah, so like McCoy does that. I'd say in Tomb of the Cybermen, Troughton is like that.
He plays dumb though, Troughton, which is quite cool. And that's how he gets one up on it.
And that's the kind of thing. I mean, I like them to be fumbling sometimes, but ultimately Troughton always kind of was very smart.
Yeah, I didn't really get super intelligent from Jodie. I know she said a lot of techno babble, and she created the sonic screwdriver, which
we'll
get onto that. But like, I just feel like she didn't come across as like an eccentric or an intellectual. She was very much just kind of zany Yorkshire lady.
Now, some of that I wonder if we can put down to it being a post-regenerative episode.
Yeah, and we can kind of reserve a judgment to be like, because
absolutely.
there were moments where I was like, that's cool, I see the Doctor there, I just want more bits like that. And I actually did sort of like an Eye on the Doctor moment, even though it's not as good as like, Matt Smith's or David Tennant's.
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed that, so I'm not sold yet, but I'm still holding like my reservations and be like, you know what, this could work.
And this is like a writing thing, not a Jodie thing, I'd say.
No, as an actress, I think she really puts her all into it, and even if like a lot of it she doesn't nail, there are moments of it, and I think you can see she's trying. So you can't really for that.
To clear that up, we're talking about things like the characterization and the writing as opposed to Jodie herself.
No, it's Chibnall. How he's wrote the Doctor is a bit odd at some points.
Now, a few other elephants in the room. The sonic screwdriver.
Jesus. Yeah. God, that was so cheesy. I just knew, like, when they went to that scene where in the garage, I was like, oh, she's gonna make it there, ain't she?
Yeah.
And I turned to you, I was like, Time Lord technology? Like, come on.
Yeah. She builds a sonic screwdriver. She plucks one of the crystals from, I think, the pod thing that the dude came down in. I'm guessing the crystal just had the power to be a sonic screwdriver. She melted a bunch of spoons down, reference to Sheffield steel.
Okay, yeah.
And then the sonic dildo. I hate the design.
I like how it glows yellow. That's about it.
That is a new thing, and because here's the problem. Everyone was always... There's this running joke. When the Doctor becomes a woman, he's got a sonic screwdriver. Oh, it's got 3 settings as Moffat, in Curse of Fatal Death.
Yeah. Moffat
makes that joke. And I was like, yeah. And then they showed this new design for the sonic screwdriver. It looks even more like a sex toy.
I know.
And here's the thing. I was thinking, you know, she assembles the sonic screwdriver. I was thinking, hey, maybe we might get a cool kind of like I thought maybe just for this episode she makes like a temporary one. I thought this would be a cool opportunity to have like a kind of a assembled together, junky, steampunky looking Sonic.
Yeah, like a crappy Sonic that maybe breaks at the end of the episode or something, and then the TARDIS makes a new one.
Yeah.
That'd have been a lot cooler than making the actual damn, like... It just looks like a toy, like she's made this, toy...
It's not a nice design. And plus, Sonic Screwdriver Syndrome, as I'm dubbing it, strikes again, as she can work out everything by scanning the thing and staring at the metal and going, oh, it came from here.
Isn't it more interesting if she, like, looks at something and just goes, yeah, I know. I don't need the Sonic to tell me what's going on. Jodie can just look at that and then know. That's much more interesting than I'm going to scan this and, oh, look.
Because I think the Sonic Screwdriver, the way it should be used, obviously, opening doors, like in the Pertwee era, it can like do things like ignite marsh gas, and it's like a mine detector. Kind of small...
waves. Sonic waves.
Yeah, like small multi-tool kind of things that like are useful but not plot solving.
Yeah, and don't cut corners with the writing and just get the Doctor to do magical things.
Oh, like fucking Flatline. I name you the Boneless, and I wave my Sonic and you go away. And I'm like, that's not a fucking... That's not how you solve it. That's not a solution.
Yeah. Didn't she save the day as well with the Sonic Screwdriver? Or did she activate something?
At some point...
I don't actually understand how she saved the day. I don't really get the villain in this episode, honestly. I was kind of drifting off a bit.
The villain was basically the Predator, a dude who comes from, in a land of warriors where they play a game where they go to a place, they have to hunt down a target. This villain, however, was cheating using a coil of metal snakes to track his target, who was a depressed weirdo called Carl.
Oh, so Carl was his prey?
Yeah, did you not get that? Because it came up in the coil that was, showing him. So Carl was his prey. That's what he wanted to kill to then have the trophy. Jodie found the tracker thing, the recall device in his little pod, and was like, hey, I've got your recall... I don't know why she's Scottish too. I've got your recall device, and I can send you back if I want. And they had that bit with Jodie where she's like, Tim, sure, but I didn't actually, catch on to it. They were, trying to have, a joke moment, but I don't think it was executed that well.
I think there were a few moments that were, you were unsure if they're meant to be funny or not. They were just kind of awkward.
The kind of moments that you'd need, like a good kind of proper visual director to kind of... Or a proper comedic timing director.
I think because this was quite cinematic and quite dark in some points. It played itself quite seriously, but then there were parts in it that were quite funny. So, tonally, it's a little bit...
Yeah, Jodie seemed to be trying to deliver a lot of fast-paced comedy in this.
Some of it was good. I liked some of it.
Yeah.
But most of it was a bit cringy.
Fan?
And that's just down to Chibnall, really, just not knowing how to balance his tones. And I also felt the episode was a little bit crowded at times. There were a lot of just standing around and talking, and I found that a bit boring. It felt a bit too domestic, a bit too soap opera-y. This episode just kind of bored me, really, honestly. It's not bad, it's just a bit...
Its problem is, I think, a lack of tension.
Yeah.
A kind of weak villain, because then he's like, I'm going to set off your DNA bombs, which the audience is going to go, and she's like, oh no, by the way, I removed those, and now they're in you. I gave them to you, and now you're going to explode unless you go away. And it's like, oh, I guess she did that. We didn't know she could do that. It's not even like a twist, it's more of like it feels less like a twist and more like a cop-out.
Yes.
As much as I love Family of Nature, Human Nature, Family of Blood, the ending of that, a little bit of Time Lord trickery, and you shouldn't have let me pull all those levers, where, he's still human. No, I'm just fucking, it's Time Lord. And it's like, what? That is an amazing story, but it's a bit of a cop-out. That one bit, I think.
Just one bit where the Doctor has a great speech and it just solves everything. Yeah. That's kind of naff.
This episode did kind of suffer from the oh, by the way, I just did this, and
I did this thing and it saved everything. Also, Bradley Walsh's thing about always ask a bus driver. Didn't they get a random piece of information?
Oh yeah. Well, okay, they turned up. I don't know what I missed. There's a water tower where the coil thing was hanging around. They turn up at the water tower. I'm like, how did they get there?
Yeah.
Bradley Walsh, always ask a bus driver. And I'm like,
what? What?
I don't
get that.
How did they track him? I must have missed something.
Yeah.
No, mate. That's exactly the sort of thing.
But obviously there was a death in this episode.
Which was well handled, because I actually really liked Ryan's mum. She was played by a really good actress, and I thought that was good.
I thought it was quite a shame to see her go, to be honest.
Yeah, I would have liked to see her be a companion. Or
yeah, we should speak about the companions, actually, yeah.
I actually really like them.
Yeah, so I'm a fan of Ryan.
Ryan's great.
He, you just take to him. I don't know how else to describe it.
Chosen Cole, he's a really good actor. He's been in Star Wars, so...
Yeah, he's, he plays kind of I think, like, of the companions, he seems to be more of like a serious one. Like, kind of concerned, serious one.
But you feel for him as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yasmin's pretty good, but she's a bit underdeveloped. Like, I think because it's quite a crowded episode, you don't get much of her.
Yeah, so we don't know too much about her.
But she could be good. I like the actress, Mandeep Gill. Bradley Walsh was good, actually. Bradley Walsh wasn't really... I thought he was going to be over-the-top comedy, kind of like, Matt Lucas with Not Adele. But, no, he was actually pretty subdued in some ways, a bit, like, hesitant. Which was surprising, because I thought he was going to be like waving his arms around like, oh, I'm Bradley Walsh from The Chase. No, he's...
And this could give him a chance to, obviously develop his nerves. Because obviously he's had a big... Both him and Ryan have had a big event. Graham's lost his partner, Ryan's lost his nan. And we learned that Ryan has also lost his mother 6 years earlier. So obviously he's not going through a good time.
No, that's cool, and I like that two of those companions sort of have like a relationship.
Also, him struggling to call him granddad at the start, that may develop over the series.
Definitely, yeah. I have a feeling Chibnall could actually, if he's brave enough, I think he might kill one of them off. Because you think of there's three of them, I don't think all three are going to make it to the next series. So maybe Bradley Walsh dies. That's just speculation there, but, because obviously he can't stick around for loads of series because he's got the commitments, like The Chase. But that's just speculation there. But I like the companions, and I'm excited to see more of them.
It's a slight shame that they're all from Earth, but they do seem interesting.
Yeah, they're interesting. There's enough variety there, I think, in terms of character. But we do need some, like, besides from Nardor, we need some, like, alien companions.
Either alien or out of time characters like Jamie.
Or Victorian Clara until that was messed up.
Yeah, oh, thanks, Moffat. One thing I will say that I like, it is that cliffhanger.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Because one of my ideas, and we were thinking about doing a video where we talk about what we'd like from Series 11. One of my ideas was, my basic idea was a non-working TARDIS that would, because I like the idea of the
adventure.
Yeah, I like the idea of, whilst in Series 8 and 9, it was kind of Peter Capaldi dropping in to pick up Clara every now and then. I prefer that kind of we're in the TARDIS at the start feeling, and I kind of thought like, it's
a long journey.
Yeah, the connection, the hook, one of the hooks from each episode could be that, the Doctor's trying to get his companion or companions home or to a certain place. Maybe they travel away by accident, but the TARDIS is acting up for whatever reason and taking them to the wrong place or something like that.
More of like a fight for survival. You're there with the adventures more.
And so at the end of this episode, the cliffhanger is that they use this thing to kind of
go to the planet where the TARDIS supposedly is.
Yeah, and they end up in the middle of space.
Yeah.
Floating, probably, very near to death.
Very cool.
It goes, that's cool.
And the stinger with the music.
Yeah, we're like, shit, where is the TARDIS? What's going to happen? I'm excited. I don't know how long the lack of a TARDIS is going to carry on, but if this is a series in which we are TARDIS light, that could be really interesting.
I would actually really like that part.
That would be cool. I don't know if the BBC is just maybe like, the prop isn't ready! Fuck! But, yeah. So, Jodie Whittaker's costume, I think we've already talked about, right?
I think briefly, yeah. I'm not crazy about it. I like the coat. I like the grey coat.
I like the coat because it reminds me of Romana.
It's very doctory as well, like long coat, kind of tenancy as well.
Long coat.
I'm just not crazy about the overall.
As for the rest of it, so okay, there's the rainbow stripe, which is a bit kind of like, are they trying to make a statement?
LGBT, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You've got like the sort of baggy trousers that are sort of crops. It's sort of, the whole thing's...
It's too modern, I think. I feel like it should be more like eccentric.
I think I would prefer an evolving, changing wardrobe for her. Like various episodes, she may or seasons. She may wear different stuff.
Season to season, that'd be good.
But I don't hate it. I just don't love it.
Then we get to the theme music.
So yeah,
with the credits.
The highlight of the entire thing is they go to the credits. We get this cool kind of reminds me of sort of a bit Pertwee / Baker-esque, that kind of background.
The watery vortex.
Yeah, almost a bit Howler-roundy as well. Kind of the first two Doctors.
Yeah.
And this beautiful theme music.
It is so good. Yeah.
And really, like, I've been listening to a few fan versions of theme tunes that have all been really good, but I do think the actual one is probably I'm going to say it's the best we've had in the new series.
For a long time, yeah, because the Capaldi one was terrible. Like, this one felt powerful, kind of eerie, like, really eerie. Yeah,
and that's what I really wanted. So I mean, a nice orchestral kind of theme is nice, but we'd been having that for quite a while. And then I do like the Eccleston one, let's call it. That had the
that's great.
That just had. I do really like that one. I like how fast it is. It's that feeling where when you watch an Eccleston episode, the sting comes in and it's like it's thrusting you. It's like into the action,
and it's that vortex as well. It's so fast and like you're there. You want to go travelling with.
And that has like that incorporates elements of the original. It was Delia Derbyshire and of the Delia Derbyshire Ron Grainer theme into it. This is like they took the kind of Delia Derbyshire Ron Grainer theme and a few other themes, maybe like
maybe a bit of the Howl as well.
Yeah,
it's a Howl one.
And merged it into this very eerie, hard-hitting, it doesn't sound outdated, it sounds really nice.
It's beautiful. It plays homage to the original Delia Derbyshire theme, but it also brings it kind of modern. It's eerie, it's kind of beautiful. Yeah. I just loved it. It gave me goosebumps.
Very happy.
Yeah.
I was really wanting a genuinely creepy theme for this kind of area of Doctor Who, and I was wondering how exactly they're going to do it.
I was very disappointed that we didn't get to see the title sequence.
Yeah.
Because, why? And it made it feel more like a soap opera and not Doctor Who. You need the title sequence. Obviously, I think they're going to do it with the next... I hope they do it with the next few episodes. That you need a title sequence. Come on, this is Doctor Who. It's a big part of it. You can't change that.
Yeah, so I was really looking forward to it coming up and being able to react to it.
But that could be something for episode 2, to hook people in for next week, which I quite like.
Obviously, I will be tuning in to see the title sequence.
Yeah. So, like, this episode, for me, was a bit mediocre and a bit meandering, but I think it promises a lot for me.
Yes.
The upcoming episodes, and I think it's just very much an okay start,
Yeah.
That promises maybe great things to come. So,
yeah.
That's what it is for me. It was alright, but I was more excited by the end of it with the theme tune and the next time's title sequence.
Definitely, the sort of the theme tune like made it for me basically.
Yeah, me too.
The title sequence looked really good. I was intrigued by the stories and the cliffhanger was good. I hope that the writing for Jodie calms down a bit.
I think it will. I think hopefully with the post-regenerative stress, it's going to calm down with the 13th Doctor. Because if that happens, I think I'll actually really like Jodie. But I just need a bit more time to settle in.
This episode, it got a reaction out of me. There's a line in which the Doctor says, Doctor needs some new clothes. The Doctor says, I've not bought women's clothes in ages, or for a long time, or something like that. And I exploded. I'm going to play myself exploding right there.
It's been a long time since I bought women's clothes.
No! You never bought women's clothes! You fucking chibnall! Fuck you! Unless you bought them for his granddaughter, in which case I can accept that. So, it annoyed me, because unless they're talking about, William Hartnell buying clothes for his granddaughter, there has never been a Doctor before William Hartnell, is what I choose to believe. Because specifically...
There shouldn't be, no.
In the time of the Doctor, it's a big fucking deal that the Doctor's used up all his regenerations and is being granted a new set by the Time Lords. Therefore, that implies, unless he's had a cycle before, Hartnell was the first. So you can't say the Doctor's been a woman before, because that would mean there's some regeneration we don't know about, unless they are referring to Hartnell buying clothes for Susan.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Doctor is a bit of a lunatic, so I could imagine buying women's clothes just for the shits and giggles. But at the same time, it is a bit of a triggering line. It didn't bother me because I just kind of laughed it off.
It annoys me because it built upon the same line from
Well Enough in Time. Yeah.
He's talking about the Master. He's like,
oh no, yeah.
Yeah, and he says like, he was a boy back then. Who's like, I think I was too, or something. He says something like that, or
I think I was. No, dude, you were a boy. You've always been a boy.
It's that line, the way they we're implying the Doctor was a woman before, so it's not that bad.
But yeah, I would probably give this episode, the woman who fell to Earth, I'd give it like a good 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
I don't think it was. I don't think it deserves anything more than that. It was alright, but I'm more excited for the later episodes, honestly.
I was thinking 5 or 6.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed, honestly, but there are, like I said, flashes of promise there.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing more Jodie and the companions, actually.
I'm hoping, obviously, Jodie's she kind of comes into it, and all the characterization begins to feel natural. Because here's the thing, my ideal Doctor currently would literally just be Paul McGann.
Paul McGann's fantastic.
From the night of the Doctor, the instant he's within seconds, you're instantly like, yeah, this guy's the Doctor.
Oh.
He just has the right aura, the right kind of sense of authority, but friendliness and kind of darkness to him that I would adore. Jodie's the characterization currently is too jokey, quirky. Oh, I'm all over the place. I want them to bring it down.
It's kind of the reverse of Capaldi, where he was a bit too dark or a bit too much of a dick
in
Series A. It's like the opposite, where with Jodie it's a bit too light and funny. I find that maybe she's a bit too human at some points. I'm not convinced she's an alien with 2 hearts yet. But she's fun. She's fun to watch at moments.
It's fun. I have a feeling the accent, I'm probably just going to get used to it, kind of thing.
In time, yeah.
It's one of probably the most dickish things I can pick the series up for, but it does sound weird.
Yeah, especially when this is the Doctor. We haven't had that kind of accent before with the Doctor, so it just takes time.
Some of the dialogue coming out of her sounds. It's just there is something like it's not just me. There is something quite odd about it.
That bothers me more than the gender thing, honestly. The accent is more like
the news tomorrow. Man, children hate on Jodie Whittaker for her Sheffield accent.
So it was interesting. We'll see where it goes, but thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, we should be wrapping this up. I've got a lot to cut down.
But yeah, thanks for listening. If you want to let us know your thoughts on the episode.
Absolutely.
How you felt about Jodie, the companions, the sexy theme tune.
But for the 14th Doctor, I'd like to... Jennifer Connelly. Make it happen. I know she's American.
She can do an English accent.